Hi, my name's Sam Winston. I'm the author of One and Everything. One of the things that interests me about the picture book format is that you can read something and you can see something and you can do that simultaneously. And often the written word is going to be, you know, on a page and it's quite flat, and then the visual is something you stand back at and look as a picture. And I think I've always loved this idea that one sentence can go in this direction, yet the image can go in the other direction. And that's what we're trying to do in the book. So you're following a narrative that is saying one thing, but like once you get to the end and once you actually look closely at the pictures, you're like, wow, this is saying a lot of different things at the same time. I think I've been messing around with words long enough. So when I write, once there were many stories for all the world, in my head I've got an image of what that looks like, as if stories are a thing. And I think that's particular to my type of brain, is that when someone says, oh, I'm into that book, or I'm into that story, or I'm into that sentence, that's very visual for me. Like the idea of like a sentence has kind of got, like a mean sentence has a look, right? A kind of like a joyful sentence has a feel to it, a joyful poem has a feel to it. And they're things that I have that kind of seem to have color and seem to have shape and form. So I will write a story fully aware that, you know, all of this will jump off the page and dance at some point. The main protagonist is a story, which is a strange idea, but to look at when you see the visuals of the book, you can see that it's this ball of type. And I think that's, you know, that's very much like how our brains are, as in we often think in language and we often sort of like label our thoughts and emotions in language. And this is me just bringing that to life through color and shape. Yeah. And then the other characters in the story, again, with very simple, I wanted to use a really simple palette of just color and letter form. And at times I sort of imply words, but not so heavily. So you've got this thing where you've kind of got the text on one part of the book, and then you've got these letter forms that are making an image on the other part of the book. And I think when you first read the book, it really is, the divide is quite clear. I'm reading a story, here's some images, and you move through the book. But once you reach the end, there's something, I hope that it's nice that happens, when you suddenly go, oh, all those images are stories as well. And then there's this kind of key which leads you back into what you were looking at, and you start reading what you were looking at, which I find magical.